live from downtown LA where there's a rally taking place to celebrate International Women's Day. As you can see, there's people cheering, we see signs, a lot of them wearing red. As of right now, there's 5,000 structures that are endangered, stretching from Orange, Anaheim, and Tustin. Just to give you a bigger picture, it was 2,500 acres that were being burned. Now it's 4,500 to 5,000. The idea is to fit as many things as they can in a box, just like this one right here. So in this one, there are a lot of pharmaceutical medicines, for example, aspirins, but then if you look around, a box over here has gloves. Say goodbye to your phones, tablets, laptops, and of course, social media. But first, let's see what millennials have to say about unplugging. This seal, the U.S. has agreed to receive over 1,000 asylum seekers. They are currently in Australian-run detention camps off of two tiny islands here off the coast of Papua New Guinea. Most of them are from the Middle East and South Asia. Well, I'm going to take you on a ride with Luis Zelaya, who is a TPS holder, has been in the country for over 20 years, and is from Honduras. So come on and join me. Ya de tanto estar viendo las tortas de tostadas, hasta se me antojó una. Reportando desde Santa Clara del Cobre, soy Claudia Bucio para Dímelo.
Annenberg Media's Claudia Buccio talked with some opponents of the bill. She's live in our newsroom now. Claudia?
Thanks, Dan. The buzz in Washington is all about tax reform, and here in Los Angeles, opponents are raising their voices with the hope of pressuring senators to vote no. Protesters held signs enchanted outside of Senator Dianne Feinstein's LA office. They want to put a stop to this tax reform proposal.
It's going to hurt graduate students. It's going to hurt people with low housing funds. It's going to hurt the medically disabled. It's going to hurt. It's going to knock 13 million people off of health insurance. It's just wrong.
The Senate and the House both agree on decreasing corporate taxes from 35% to 20%.
It's a tax cut for billionaires, and it doesn't do anything for the middle class and the lower class.
Republican lawmakers say the tax plan would create jobs, increase investment, and support middle-class families. But the Tax Cuts and Job Acts could affect PhD students across the U.S. As of now, teaching and research assistants have a tax-free tuition. But under the House's proposal, those tuition waivers would become taxable income. Marie Gillespie is a sixth-year PhD student in clinical science at USC. She is concerned about the future of fellow graduate students.
We're the graduate students of America, and this could deface the fabric of higher education as we know it. It's what's happening in my first year, for example. I wouldn't be able to pursue my graduate studies.
Gillespie fears low-income graduate students may not be able to stay in school.
So it's one of two circumstances: either drop out or would have to take out a ridiculous amount of loans to repay this tuition.
In a statement, the USC Latino Graduate Student Association says, and I quote, "The proposed bill would deter Latinx and other underserved populations from attending graduate school and create further obstacles for us to access higher education." Protesters are asking people to call the representatives to vote no on this tax reform. Graduate student government is meeting tonight to talk about the tax reform bill. Some USC students are organizing a walkout as part of a nationwide movement. They will be meeting by Tommy Trojan on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Sophia, back to you. It is a busy day at USC's Norris Cancer Center. Workers are packing medical supplies to send to Puerto Rico tomorrow.
We were given a list of supplies that they needed, and then we got to work, and we were able to order it in.
USC Norris will send the items directly to the University of Puerto Rico Medical Center. Norris Dr. Mariana Stern received a personal request from her longtime friend and colleague.
I asked her, how can we help you? And she told me that they were in desperate need of many basic supplies that they need to treat their patients. So a lot of the things we're sending are things that might be needed in the operating room or basic things to treat infections. So we're sending a lot of antibiotics.
About 50 boxes will be shipped via FedEx. The idea is to fit as many things as they can in a box, just like this one right here. So in this one, there are a lot of pharmaceutical medicines, for example, aspirins, but then if you look around, a box over here has gloves, and the list of things that they need back in Puerto Rico are needles, syringes, tongue depressors, even batteries. Doctors in Puerto Rico are struggling to provide proper treatment because of the conditions at hospitals.
With all the delays and the lack of electricity, a lot of patients are experiencing delays in their cancer treatment, so they're at higher risk of developing infections. They're also seeing an increase in the number of intestinal infections because people don't have access to water.
Doctors say these supplies will only last about a month.
So efforts like this and many others are going to need to be long-term, and we need to find a way to sustain them and maintain them.
USC Norris Cancer Center donated an undisclosed amount of money to this cause. These supplies are expected to arrive in a week. There's no word on future shipments.